This little broadcast is coming to you from the Woodruff Family Residence Center, which is right next door to the Shepherd Center. They provide family with housing for 30 days free, which is great. So it's pretty cool. A lot of people were asking like what I was going to do when we came to Atlanta, like where I was going to be staying. So this is it for at least for the first 30 days, and after that I'll figure it out. It's cool because you can kind of use it like a hotel. So you can come and go, you can do whatever. So if I was just coming here on weekends or like half weeks or whatever, I would just call and book, and then I would come and go, and that would be it. And then you get 30 days and a lot to do. So I'm opting to, because my workplace is awesome and I'm able to do it, then I'm coming down here for, as long as Sam is here. So I'll be here for 30 days, and then afterwards I will, I will figure things out. I have some friends here. I'll be reaching out. So if you're in Atlanta and you have a spare guest room or whatever, then holler. Also looking at, if people are looking for, roommate for a couple months or a month or whatever, who knows. Looking at all of those different options. And if everything else fails, then the Shepherd Center partners with local hotels and motels and stuff like that with discounted rates. And, I'll just find something, it'll work itself out. I'm not really, we'll get to that point when we get to it. So, we made it to the Shepherd Center yesterday. It was great. We had, the bride was awesome. I was nervous. I didn't know how Sam was going to be handling it, being in a stretcher for 4 hours, and if we had traffic and blah, blah, everything, whatever. It was all great. It was wonderful. The driver, the two guys that were with us, the driver and medic, they're both EMSs, so, they're both medics, but one was driving and the other was back with Sam. They were great. I learned a lot about Cookout that I never knew. The driver was awesome and told me all sorts of things about Cookout. He couldn't believe I had never been there because I guess it started in North Carolina. So anyway, I told him I will try it out because it sounds great. But they were awesome. They were super nice and friendly, took great care of Sam. When we stopped for gas, then they let me go back and hang out with him. Just really easy to talk to. It was great. We lucked down on... there was no traffic. We hit like a little like slowdowns like twice, and that was it. When we got close to Atlanta, all of the traffic was going the opposite direction. Everything was great. Like, it was crazy. So perfect. Maybe that is why the insurance thing happened, so we could have a nice, smooth bride, whatever. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. We're here. It was crazy. When we got to Shepherd, it was just like poof, crazy. Like, all this stuff was happening. Admission people, the ambulance guys were leaving, then therapy team was coming in, doctors coming in, nurses, all sorts of shenanigans. Like, I'm like, oh God, paperwork, I'm just signing, it was crazy. But everything was great. They did, quick just assessments, not really evaluations or anything, just like, hey, we're going to be working with them. We'll see you tomorrow. And we're going to start therapy tomorrow, so, measuring him real quick for, wheelchair and other like equipment pieces that he would need and stuff like that. Getting him settled, they changed his feeding, because they're like, they handle like getting to real food differently than Carolina Pines does, because they are hospital settings. So they can, I don't really want to say play it like riskier, but, Carolina Pine has to be like incredibly safe, because they don't have like, suction equipment and all of these things, and that Shepherd Center has, because they're, it's just different types of facilities. So they can handle things totally different. So they switched him to a continuous feed just throughout the night. So it's like 16 hours from 4 to 8, I think it is. And then, so he just doesn't, the rest of the day, he doesn't do any eating. And they up it, like the amount he gets during that time. Anyway, they work it all out. It's all great, because they don't want him to be missing feedings while he's in therapy. They don't want to have to stop therapy for him to have feedings, all this kind of stuff. So anyway, so they switched that, got him all settled in, and today we started therapy. Like, right, just boom, like we were there. They got him up, they got him dressed, His wheelchair, you know, they thought it was going to be ready around noon. It actually was ready a little bit earlier, so they brought in the wheelchair, adjusted it, you know, worked on transferring different ways. I posted some pictures of like before and after the first occupational therapy session. You know, he woke up and he was very, you know, he had a little bit of a rough night, new place, traveling, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, when he woke up, I was very surprised at how like alert and ready to go he was. You know, then after the first hour of therapy, then he zonked out. But he only took like, it was like a 10-15 minute nap, and he woke back up and he was ready to go. He got tired again when they were doing walking and physical therapy. He tired out much faster than he normally does. Again, traveling yesterday, all the excitement, the rough night, all of that. So anyway, they did all that. They took him into the therapy gym. They did standing. They came up with game plans for what they're going to get him into later. I know in one, you know, the first videos I talked about the Shepherd Center, I talked about the exoskeleton. He's going to be in that. It's either next week or the week after. He's going to be in a sling with that has a track that goes across I shouldn't say sling, sorry. It's like a harness. And then there's a track that's across the ceiling, so, you know, it'll help him like find his center. The cool thing is today, I mean, they started swallow trials today. They did testing on his swallow stuff today. So that was really cool. Something that we've really been working up to. And, you know, again, they have to go slow with it at Carolina Pines, because that's just, they have to be safe. You don't want pneumonia, you don't want anything like that. But here it's different, you know, it's different facility, different type of thing. So they started out with 5 ice chips. He chewed those up, swallowed them, it was good. She gave him the choice between, this is speech therapist, gave him the choice between water, apple juice, orange juice. He chose orange juice. She did it with a spoon first, then a straw, then in the cup, then thickened some water with like this thickening stuff. I don't know, whatever. But it thickened it up, and then did that. He got tired because, you know, he hasn't swallowed in almost 2 months. You know, it was July 30th, and today is the 25th. So, I mean, almost 2 months since he swallowed. So all of that was a lot of work, you know. Tired him out. So, you know, this was also his last therapy session of the day as well. So she said, you know, do you want to continue? And he said no. So we did talking. They did. I was just in the room like freaking out, because I was just like, he just had orange juice, like, oh crap. And I was a dunce. Didn't take a single picture or anything, but whatever. Anyway, I was just freaking out. Just like, whoa, everything's amazing and great. So they did some talking. You know, she asked some questions. He was shaking his head yes and no a lot. She was trying to get him to talk, which he did. You know, mouthing words and then like vocalizing and trying to get him to be louder. And then after she said, hey, you know, let's go back. You know, applesauce or pudding? And, you know, they'd gone for pudding, and he had a pudding pack today, a vanilla pudding pack. I feel like just a turd because I didn't take any pictures, not any videos or anything to send to his family or anything. I was just literally just sitting there like, he's eating pudding. And just freaking out. And it was amazing. And he did great. Like, everything was great. He coughed a couple times, but she was like, I'm not concerned about it because it was a dry cough. So she was like, you know, if he was getting anything down his airway, it would be a wet cough. It was dry and it was really strong, so she said, we're good. So he can now have ice chips whenever he wants. I can give him ice chips whenever I want. I'm like, you want some ice chips? He's like, no, I don't want any more ice chips. I'm like, are you sure you don't want any ice chips? I'm like, ready to give them to you. Are you, no? Yes? No? No? He's like, no. It's not, you know, he's not really like that. He's just like, and he's just laughing at me and just like, no, I'm fine. So tomorrow, big day again. I mean, just crazy bananas. After speech therapy, I totally like cried a little bit. I was just like, I'm so proud of you, and you ate pudding, and you smell delicious, because he smelled like vanilla pudding, and it was delicious, and I was just like, I'm so proud, and crying, just crying. It was great. So again, I thought he was going to be really tired after speech therapy because he was tired during speech. Then he took another just like 10, 15-minute like little sleep, and then stayed up in his chair until it was like 4:30. We got him back in bed, and put his gown on for bed and all that kind of stuff. And I really thought he was going to go to sleep then. There was one point where like he fell asleep, and it was for like 5 minutes, and he was just up again. But about 8 o'clock, he was just like boom. Because he did so well in speech, and part of the trials was she told him to hold the liquid in his mouth and not swallow until she told him to, and he was able to do that. So they hooked suction up in his room, and I was able to brush his teeth with a toothbrush and toothpaste for the first time, since it was at Mission when they had, and that wasn't a regular toothbrush. It was like a toothbrush that was hooked onto the suction. So you were like brushing and suctioning at the same time, so this was just regular old brushing teeth. Carolina Pines didn't have the suction thing, so we were using like sponges and like mouthwash and stuff. Again, no, we don't want any aspiration, anything like that. So, but huge, like toothbrush, toothpaste, I think it was Colgate. I don't know. It's great. You guys might just be like, why does it matter? But it so matters. And it was awesome. And I got to brush his teeth, and I suctioned it out, and it was great. And then, it was like 15, 20 minutes later, he fell asleep. And then they came in and they checked on him. They gave him a round of medicine, I think, or checked on him, like repositioned him. That's what we did. And, he woke up for that, and then the CNA left, and he fell right back asleep, so definitely, I stayed in his room last night, first night, new place, the trip was fine, but still it's going to be rough, transport, so I just wanted to be there for him. I had asked him if he wanted me to stay last night or go, and he said that he wanted me to stay in the room with him, so I did. But, he fell asleep, and I was like, I'm going to go. I needed to get some groceries. There's a Fresh Market like a couple blocks down the street, so I walked down there and grabbed up some groceries, and I needed to unpack and, sleep in a bed. Although their little reclinery thing once I figured out how to work it, was really awesome. And anyway, so tomorrow, huge day tomorrow again. An occupational therapy is starting first thing in the morning. They're getting him in the shower and going to kind of get like where his baseline is on his morning routine. So then they can start setting goals for him. So they're going to get him in the shower, see what he can do in there, again, brushing teeth, all of this kind of stuff, just see where he's at. So then they know where to go from there, but still huge, because he's been in a chair in a shower, and I have no idea how they're going to do it, but I'm sure no one has asked him to shower or to do anything in his shower. They just do it to him, and then another big thing with the speech therapist tomorrow is that he gets a lunch tray. It is a test tray at lunch. I mean, all the food is like pureed, but he gets to eat lunch with the test tray and see how he does on it. So that's huge again. Really great, just like those little steps to eating real food and getting back to a normal, or I shouldn't say normal, just like his normal, life before all of this started happening. So that's huge. And to get that one step closer to getting that tube out of his belly, which is so exciting. And then physical therapy, a lot of the equipment that they're going to be using, the specialty stuff is you like schedule it out. So that's cool because it's like bonus therapy time. Like he'll still have his regular physical therapy, and then that will be bonus, but that stuff will start next week or the week after, because they have to like schedule it, and coordinate with all the other patients that are here using the same equipment and everything. So he'll still be doing physical therapy. It's Monday through Friday. He has at least 3 hours a day, and that's just, physical, occupational, and speech. Eventually, as things settle in, then the recreational therapy will be added in, and then, if he can handle more, then we'll do more. They add therapy into like everyday activities that you're doing, Anyway, so all of that's awesome. He's doing great. It's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm right next door to the Shepherd Center right now. So if I wanted to like walk over there and check on him, I could. I'm not going to because I don't want to bother him. If he's asleep, I want him to sleep, and they know what they're doing here. They're amazing. This is why we're here, and so I'm going to let them do their work, and I'm going to make sure that I get some sleep, and I'm ready to go tomorrow too, because there's still some things on my list that I have to take care of. They have a lot of classes and things for the family to do and to take, and I need to go to the office of the people who are in charge of that, get there's just all sorts of stuff. But I wanted to say a couple things, like a couple cool things that happened that were just like, this is why we came here, one is when we were settling into the room, the therapist and the doctors were talking to him, which they, his therapist at Carolina Pines did as well, but they weren't, he was the number one person in the room, which before this, then predominantly it was 50-50, or, during therapy sessions, of course, it was Sam, like I said, the therapists were talking to him, all the therapy team at Carolina Pines were talking to him. But when it came to like admissions, nursing, treatment, stuff like that, then they would direct it towards me and everything, which is great because that's what it needed to be at that time. But here, then it was just great because it's like, they're talking to him. They're, the admissions people are asking him questions. The doctor is asking him questions. And then I was just like, I would verify stuff, and it's just great because it's Sam's recovery, and he's at the point now where he can be a part of it, and he can be, he can be adding in this stuff, and that was just really awesome to see, and it had been like that at Carolina Pines with the therapy team and stuff like that. But when we first got there, it wasn't, because he wasn't at that point, So this was just another little moment of, we're moving up. We have made progress because we're at the point where we're at a new place, we're at a new facility, and they don't feel the need to direct everything to me. Not that I mind or anything like that, but just Sam's a person, and it's his body, it's his recovery. We want him to be at the point where he can answer the questions himself and be active and everything, and we've wanted it the whole time. But this is like the first time we're in a new facility, and it's happening, and it was so beautiful, and great, and just I was just we worked so hard, everyone. I mean, definitely Sam, of course, Sam number one worked his freaking tail off, and then all the people at Carolina Pines to get him there, everything, the nurses back at Mission, the doctors, all that, everyone played their part in getting us to that moment, and it was just wonderful and beautiful and great, just great. It was just, I don't know if, I honestly hope that no one ever has to experience that, but if you do, then it's beautiful and amazing. But yeah, I hope you get to pass on it, but it was just great. And then, shortly after that, the occupational and speech therapists were there, the doctor, there were the two nurses that were on duty for him. Then there's still some admission people. The ambulance guys had just left shortly, so a lot happening. Close, new environment, very close to him, all this stuff happening. He had a panic moment, and the therapy team was there, the occupational therapist was there, the speech therapist was there, the doctor was there. Occupational therapist just, stepped in and it was like, hey, it's okay. This is, very calmly and confidently, handled it and immediately calmed him down, which was great, you know, because dealing with those can be incredibly scary. And if you're not used to it and this and that, and there, you know, it's hard, it's emotional too. And it was just another one of those moments of, this is why we're here, you know, because they know, they're used to this. They see it, they see these periods, and they know how to handle it. And it comes across, it gets to the patient immediately that they're in that type of environment, that they know, you know, that people know what, you know, just that confidence that, you know, okay, it's fine. He cussed a little bit, because he's been having some involuntary arm movements and feet movements, and they were asking him questions, and he got frustrated, and he cussed some, and was getting really frustrated, and they said, you know, is it because of your arms and your feet not doing, like, you're not in control of them, or is it because you can't find the right words to answer the questions, you know? And, you know, then he didn't answer them right away. And then they said, you know, or is it both? And he said both. And they said, okay, well, you're here, and we're going to fix it. We're going to help you fix these things. We're going to help you handle these situations. And he, you know, he was frustrated and everything. And then they said that, and he like, you could see, he just relaxed, and he said, finally, you know. So it was just like that moment too of just like, man, like, he feels it, he knows, you know, I've been telling him and everything, but it's one thing to be told, another thing to, like, be in the situation and see that and feel it, you know, as a person who hasn't been able to do all the research and everything that I've been doing, you know. And like, just to, like, you can go to a great place that has all these wonderful reviews, but maybe not pick up that feeling, you know. So to get that, and just like, you could see, it was great. It was just, it was great. It was, I mean, everything's been great. It's all wonderful and fabulous. I had a little bit of a moment myself, when I went to the cafeteria last night, and when I was coming back, I got lost, like, coming back, not like, oh my gosh, lost, because I was still, like, in the building, you know. I wound up on a totally wrong wing, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I just wasn't 100% paying attention, you know. So when I was going to the cafeteria, so I got on the wrong elevator, which just took me to a totally wrong spot. So then I got back in his room, and there was like this belt that was supposed to be on him. Like, if I left the room, I was supposed to put it on, which I had forgotten to do. It wasn't that, I mean, okay, it's important because they say that he should have it, and so it's important, but it's not on his bed anymore. And it wasn't ever when we were at Carolina Pines. It's like just like a belt across restraint if he's like an impulsive person that tries to get on a bed, you know, so it kind of keeps him in, but he's not impulsive. So, you know, he doesn't need it. They put it on, and when he's in his chair, to make sure he doesn't, like, fall out, and they have like a seatbelt too, but it's like a double up, because he can, like, if he wanted to, undo that and then fall forward. But it's just like a little safety precaution. But it was a safety precaution that I forgot to put on. And when I came back, you know, a nurse or a CNA had come in after me and had hooked it up to him, but I was just like, I got lost, forgot to put a stupid belt on, I was tired, I had a little, like, miniature little breakdown, but what can you do? I got over it. It was fine. It's all good, because the CNA came in, and I was like, I forgot to put the belt on. She's like, it's totally okay. She was like, I actually saw you leave, and I came in right after you. She was like, because, you know, it's a new thing. Like, I had told them that we hadn't done it the previous place, so she was like, I saw you leave, and we know it's your first day. You know, you're tired. We came in. We checked up after you. So on my side, too, I immediately was like, oh. I was like, that's great, because, you know, they're looking out for me, too, which is awesome and wonderful. So that too, I was like, okay. I was like, I mean, obviously don't forget to do it anymore, you know, which it's not on his bed anymore. So whatever. But, you know, it was just nice. It was just that again, a moment on the other side, on my side too, of like, they're not just watching out for Sam. They're making sure that, like, we're we're all doing good. And it's not just about me too. Like, that's about Sam, and they're making sure, because it, you know, like, not like, oh, it's their job, you know, or whatever, but, you know, like, that's what they're there to do, is to ensure safety and everything. And so they, you know, they don't just assume that I'm going to do it. Like, they're going to check in and make sure that I did it as well, which is awesome. So yeah, anyway, I'm getting all rambly, but it's late. I mean, it's not really late in like my normal time, but you know, for me now it's late. I'm trying to get up at, or I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I need to do some unpacking here and, you know, put my groceries away. I just have them sitting on the counter. Side note, Fresh Market's expensive. I didn't buy coffee, because the cheapest coffee I could find there was $9 for a bag. I was like, I can't buy that. I couldn't. So, sorry, Fresh Market. Everything was beautiful, and the coffee smelled delicious, but, you know, I couldn't do it. Sam's mom and sister are coming in this weekend, and so I'm just going to ask them to take me to Walmart or you know, Kroger's or something and do some shopping. But anyway, now I'm getting really tangent-y. Anyway, no offense, Fresh Market, sorry about that, no offense. Anyway, it's all been great. Everything's been fabulous. I'm so proud of him. I tell him all the time, so proud of you. So proud that he's my husband. I'm so proud of him as a person. Just, dude, he is just killing it. Just, man, so good, so good. Shepherd Center, oh, you're awesome. So great, so great. I love everybody. It's all awesome. I'm really tired. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna unpack or something. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just put the groceries away and go to bed. I am gonna brush my teeth. So, we're all proud of me there, right? Okay. Now it's getting weird. Okay, love you all. Keep those messages coming everywhere. I love reading them. Y'all are all great and fabulous. Thanks. And more good news. I will take a video of Sam eating food tomorrow, even though it's pureed. It doesn't matter. That I will do, because I feel so bad that I missed that milestone of him eating his vanilla pudding pack today. Like, boo. But whatever. Tomorrow. It's going to be great. Lunch. It's awesome. Bye.